If you are a baby boomer, correction, if you are a male baby boomer like me, then you remember comic books. Comic books were a huge part of my life. Every kid I knew read comics. I couldn't always afford them, so I borrowed my friends' comics and read them 100 times. What I remember most about comics, though, growing up, was the advertising section. It was the Sears and Roebuck catalog for kids. A mail order heaven with lots of COD options. Cash on delivery. Remember those days? Yep, that's right. The mailman, or woman sometimes, would collect what you owed. Or collect from the unsuspecting parents, I should say. I didn't have any money when I was a kid, so I couldn't really say for sure. But I bet there were plenty of kids who ordered stuff from the comics in the hopes that their parents would pay for it when it showed up. I just never had the guts. I think CODs have gone the way of the payphones. I hardly see any mailmen or mail women these days either, come to think of it. So what could you buy in a comic book? There were rocket ships, submarines, tanks, blow-up dolls, you name it. And they were all for sale. Cheap. Too cheap. I mean, what kid wouldn't want a tank, right? For under $10, and that's delivered. And Judy the blow-up doll? Not sure what you would need a blow-up doll for. I don't really remember Judy, actually. I must have been reading the wrong comics. Came from California, I see. I wonder if she really looks like that. The stuff I wanted always came from somewhere in New York or Canada. Like these guys. Remember them? That's right, sea monkeys. I never bought any myself, but I had friends who did, and I can tell you, sea monkeys did not look like this. And you certainly couldn't train them like they claimed in the ad. I guess some items, like the sea monkeys here, didn't accept CODs. Probably because they were alive, and it would have been illegal shipping live animals through the mail. At least that's what I thought, but maybe not. I actually remember this ad, but never believed it until I got a pet turtle in the mail, so who knows. But I didn't want the sea monkeys. I wanted a submarine. That's right, a sub. And not any old submarine. I wanted the Polaris nuclear sub. And it was only $6.98. And you could COD this baby. Don't think it didn't cross my mind to just order it and see if by chance my mom or dad would pull out some cash. Which they probably didn't have at the time, but I didn't know it then. I thought we were rich. But to get it COD, you had to send $1 for a Goodwill deposit before they would ship it to you. And then it would have come down to who would pay the COD when this enormous submarine showed up at my family's home. Would it be Mom or Dad? As a kid, I imagined this nuclear sub would have been delivered on a huge flatbed truck. So I knew there might be an issue with the neighbors. The next question I always had to ponder was, where would I launch it? I mean, subs need water, right? And I was landlocked. It's funny now, but I struggled with these questions for a long time when I was young. Ralphie wanted a Red Ryder 200-shot air rifle, and I wanted a submarine. In the end, though, it was the cash on delivery that was always a holdup for me. Just who was going to pay? My dad or my mom? Dad would have paid it, I figured. What father wouldn't want a submarine, right? The problem was this. They would only deliver something this big in the daytime, right? And he would have been at work, which means Mom would have been answering the door. It would always come back to my mom in my mind. And I knew she would never pull her purse out. Not for me, at least, and the first thing she would have asked was, where the hell was I going to keep this thing? I couldn't answer that one either as a kid, so she was just going to send these delivery guys on their way, and I would be doing hard labor until I left for college. I really wanted that submarine, though. It could do anything. Shoot torpedoes, ballistic missiles, peer out from beneath the water in a periscope. The Nautilus had it all, including hours of imaginative play, I see. Imaginative play. I didn't really notice that verbiage as a kid. But let's be real, 75 cents for shipping charges? That's way more than fair. I mean, it is a sub, after all, right? And this one shot nuclear missiles. But it wasn't meant to be. I couldn't get past the COD charges or the landlocked thing, so I always chickened out in the end. Oklahoma and Kansas aren't exactly the Pacific Ocean. I guess I should tell you that I lived in an Army post growing up. That's right, I was an Army brat. I guess a tank would have made more sense, but those were usually right down the street from me, so why would I want one from a catalog? And the tanks, the little soldiers, the fake guns, they didn't appeal to me either. Those were all around me, and I played Army all the time, at least when I could drag my older brother up and down the stairs. I wanted that damn sub. I certainly didn't want the rocket ship. That was a dumb idea. I mean, really? A rocket ship? Just where was I going to launch a rocket ship? But it was $1 cheaper, and they took CODs too, so I probably thought about it at one point. But I was sticking with the sub. They really sold some cool stuff in the comics. Who wouldn't want a book on the genitalia of the animal kingdom, huh? Better yet, how about a way to throw your farts? Or this, fake lard, right? Who doesn't want fake lard? Well, apparently, or rather unfortunately, there were many people who didn't want fake lard because the companies who sold this stuff are long gone. Even the one in Canada. And they've been long gone for a long time. Except maybe the deluxe blow-up Judy doll. I bet you they're still around. Is it strange I still want that submarine? That's all I got.